Shawn Estes, former Giants and Mets pitcher. Shawn, Zach and Chase here in Philly. Thanks for a few minutes. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Just looking forward to the game tonight.
Well, yeah, it should definitely be a good one. This has the potential to be a classic World Series, depending on how the game goes tonight. But I want to take you back a little bit to your career because it's one of my favorite memories. I know you're on in Philadelphia, but I grew up in New York as a Mets fan, and I was sitting at that game when you took Roger Clemens deep and Mike Piazza had a home run in one of those classic Met-Yankee games where I think you guys won 8-0. Just how fun was that to take Roger Clemens deep?
Well, pretty fun, man. It was a bittersweet game for me, considering there was a lot of build up and hype to that game, and going back to the 2000 year where Clemens hit Piazza in the head, and then fast forward to the World Series with the broken bat, he throws it at him down the line, and then he was supposed to pitch against the Mets in Shea Stadium in 2011. He came up with some injury or sickness or something. In other words, they thought he ducked him. And in 2002, I just happened to be on the mound when he actually did have to pitch. And so there was a lot of build-up to hitting Roger Clemens.
There was nothing like where the fans started chanting, Roger, Roger, and that was just a real fun day at the stadium. But Piazza and Clemens, they hated each other from going back to that rivalry. Did Piazza ever open up about that to his teammates before one of those games between the Yankees?
You know what? Not to me. I wasn't on the team in 2000 when everything went down.
Yeah.
So I know that there was no love lost between those two guys. My thing was is if you really don't like each other, you're never going to get as close as you are as when Roger Clemens steps in the box and you're sitting behind home plate catching, right? So if you got a beef with the guy, why don't you take care of it right then and there? And it never happened, and even in the World Series when he threw the bat at him, I figured that at that point when the bench is cleared that they'd get it on and finish their differences or end their differences, but it never really happened, and it didn't really happen in 2002 either. I mean, other than the fact that I guess the revenge was that he got to take him deep again, and I got to hit a home run off him as well, so. Yeah, it was a pretty special day because I ended up having a pretty good game and pitched well, and then obviously hitting the home run was a thrill.
It's also a joke that the greatest hitting catcher of all time has to still wait to be inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame, but that's a topic of conversation for another day. But tonight, it's going to be a great game, Game 7, nothing better than that. And let's take you back, though, to last night between the Giants and the Royals, Ventura against Peavy. Ventura had excellent stuff pitching for his friend that did pass away, so he was definitely emotional going into that game. But Jake Peavy, he just came up very small on the big stage, and he struggled so far in this postseason with the performance he had last night.
Well, he's really struggled at Kauffman Stadium. In his career, he's 1-6 with a 6 ERA, and then in the postseason, it gets even worse number-wise. So I felt that, Petey came into the game with a little bit of a thumb injury. It didn't seem to affect him too much. I thought his stuff was really good early in the game. I thought he made pitches. He was throwing 91, 92, had a good slider, made some good pitches in Fonte to strike him out. And then it just, sometimes I feel like that it's not your night, when things just aren't going your way. They could not stop bleeding in the second inning. There were some things that happened. There was a play at first base for Belt. Was going to throw home, and then he turned around, tried to get Escobar at first base, and he was a little late getting over to the bag. And you see those things happen, and you're like, maybe it's just not the Giants' night, and regardless of what you try to do. And then, obviously, when you get a 7-0 lead early in the game, it's very difficult. It's difficult to come back, considering how well Ventura was pitching. The kid was throwing 97, 98 miles an hour with movement. That's tough to square up. And it's tough it's tough to score 7 runs on any team, even if it's the second inning. But I thought a key moment was they did get the bases loaded. The Giants did in top half of the third inning, and they had their best hitter up in Buster Posey, although he hasn't been their best hitter this postseason. But it's a chance there to maybe drive some runs in, give your team some momentum, get them back in the game, and he ended up getting to a double play, and at that point you figured it was game over. But I've had a feeling this whole series, man, that it was going to end up Game 7 with Tim Hudson on the mound, and I feel pretty confident going into tonight.
Shawn Estes joins us right now. And Shawn, Tim Hudson gets a start on the bump tonight for the Giants, and you got to be happy for a guy who's been in the league so long. He suffered a horrific injury last year, came back, signed with the Giants, had an excellent season, and now he gets to start Game 7.
Well, yeah, what a throw for him. It's just, this guy's he's the active winningest pitcher right now, or the winningest active pitcher right now in the major leagues. So that goes to show you that he's been around a long time. He's had a lot of success, been very consistent over the course of his career. And up until this year, he's never pitched in a championship series, let alone a World Series. And so I feel like just the timing is perfect for him. He's going to pitch next year. We know that. He signed a 2-year deal with the Giants. But just to be able to get an opportunity to pitch in the World Series doesn't happen all the time, and he'll be the first to tell you. So, and it may not happen next year. So this could be the only opportunity of his long 17-year career where he's going to get a chance to pitch in this atmosphere, and it's a Game 7, and I just feel like the stars are kind of aligned right for him tonight, and I know that he'll go out there and you almost feel like he's going to will himself into pitching well. Now that's not going to necessarily translate into a win, because Guthrie may pitch his butt off as well, and that bullpen for the Royals may be stellar as we've seen him this whole postseason, but he'll pitch well enough to keep his team in the game and give them a chance to win. I expect Tim Hudson to go out there and throw at least 6 innings tonight and be extremely effective.
It's been a back-and-forth series, Shawn, and a really entertaining one at that. Giants win Game 1, then the Royals come back and win 2 straight. Then the Giants win 2 straight, then the Royals win it last night. And a lot of these runs have really come in bunches. Royals were just smacking it all over the yard last night. Do you think that the momentum and the edge is on the Royals side going into Game 7 tonight?
Without a doubt. I mean, you look back into history, there's only been one team that's come back on the road to win Game 7 after losing Game 6 since 1975. Now it was the Reds. And so, history the odds are definitely not in the Giants' favor. And just being in Kauffman Stadium last night and being a part of the energy of that crowd, they definitely have momentum on their side. And this Royals ball club believes that they can win. The reason why they do is because there's one guy that's not pitching for the Giants that they know that they have a difficult time with, and that's Madison Bumgarner. Other than that, they feel like they can beat anybody that takes the mound. So, yes, for sure, they have a lot of confidence going into tonight. They've faced a lot of adversity this season. You go back to just the wild card playoff game against the A's, coming back from 4 down in the 8th inning, and then just going on their amazing run of 7 straight after that. They definitely feel good about themselves right now, and I would too, considering he just reeled off 10 runs in Game 6. But with that being said, there's no better way to stop the momentum of the team than a well-pitched game. And good pitching will beat good hitting any day, and that's why I put a lot of confidence and faith in Tim Hudson tonight to pitch a very good ball game.
I agree with you. I like Hudson on the mound tonight. The guy's waited his whole life for this opportunity. You'd think he would have a good game as we're spending a few minutes with Shawn Estes. But you mentioned Madison Bumgarner. Everyone today on TV, radio, wherever part of the planet that you are on, people are going to be saying, when is Madison Bumgarner going to be getting into this game? What do you think his role is in this Game 7 tonight?
Well, if my prediction holds true and Hudson pitches well and he gives them 6 innings, I wouldn't be surprised to see Madison Bumgarner pitch the 8th inning, 7th, 8th, somewhere around there. There's going to be a time in the game. I still believe it's going to be a close game. Guthrie will probably pitch pretty well. If he doesn't, he's going to have a very short leash. They're going to find a way to get to the back end of that bullpen, maybe earlier than later. There's not going to be a whole lot of runs scored, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So there is going to be a time in this game where you're going to need the Giants' bullpen's well rested. They're ready to battle too. I mean, they're big 4. He hasn't pitched in a couple days, and so they're going to be available probably. After Hudson comes out of the game, Bruce Bochy's a master the bullpen and matchups. I think you'll find a spot for Madison Bumgarner in this game tonight. It's going to be a huge at bat or 2 in the ball game, and we're going to see him pitch. I really do. I think that right now he is the X factor for this Giant ball club, because I do believe when he takes the mound, this Royal team really has this Giant team really has the advantage mentally.
You empty out
the.
You have to empty out the rosters tonight. It's a Game 7, and anything goes in a Game 7 like this.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. As they like to say, all hands on deck. I mean, I think that Petit, he'll be available. He fished a little bit last night. The only two guys I don't think you'll see pitch are Gmont Sheet, Hunter Strickland. They've really struggled in the postseason, and he used them a lot last night. But other than that, you're going to see everybody. You have a chance to see everybody. But, it's shaping up to be a heck of a Game 7. I think it's probably the most exciting game in all of sports. This is kind of what you want. And you haven't seen a whole lot of them in recent history in the World Series. So this is the one for everybody to really enjoy. So I expect it to be a good game.
The Giants are just such a team of consistency. I can't tell you their formula for winning, but each and every year it seems like they're either in the NLCS or they're in the World Series, and that really just speaks to the job that Bochy has done. And you have players like Posey, Sandoval, Hunter Pence, just guys that get it done in the big moments. How much does experience factor into this game tonight that the Giants have it, even though they're going up against a team in the Kansas City Royals that have all the momentum right now?
Well, it goes a long way because they're not concerned about what just happened last night. I think that holds a lot of weight as far as going into a Game 7. I think some teams without the experience may panic a little bit and may be a little bit on their heels. But the Giants, they know it's one game, and they can see how things can happen. I mean, this same club, for the most part, the core of this club was down 2-0 in an NLDS and 3-1 in an NLCS just 2 years ago and found a way to come back and then sweep the Tigers in the World Series. So they've been faced with some adversity before. They've been underdogs before. They realize they have a lot of character in this clubhouse, and I know that term's used a lot, but they really do. They really believe in one another. There's nobody's selfish in there. They really understand that if one guy's not going to get it done, the guy behind me is going to get it done. There's no one guy that feels like they have to carry the weight of everybody. And they have guys that are battle tested in this moment that will rise to the occasion as well. So, those two things go a long way in a postseason. And then if you do everything you can do and you handle yourself right mentally in the moment, especially in big pressure situations, and it still doesn't come to fruition and you don't win this thing, you really laid it all out there and you didn't beat yourself. So tonight, if the Royals win, it's because they're going to beat the Giants. The Giants aren't going to go out there and beat themselves, that's for sure.
Shawn, during the heart of the Phillies run here in Philadelphia, they went out and acquired Hunter Pence. It was a huge trade at the time, and he really gave this team a boost, both on the field with his production in the field. He was a big part and component in the lineup, hitting 5, supporting Ryan Howard, who was batting cleanup. And in the clubhouse, he was just such a valuable figure. They traded him to San Francisco for virtually nothing. Tommy Joseph, a big part of that deal, who the Giants sent to Philadelphia. He's had concussion problems, hasn't made it to the big league level. In fact, the AAA, he's barely even played. But we've seen Hunter Pence just thrive. How has he been accepted in the Bay Area there? Because he is an integral clubhouse figure. He signed a big deal with the Giants, and on the field, he's been fabulous. And the Phillies have really missed a guy like that since they've really slid downhill in the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, I think any team would miss a player like him.
Yeah, for sure.
What he brings to the ballpark every day is an energy that I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
The guy, he shows up every day. I mean, Bruce Bochy
borderline nuts at sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. They just look at his eyes.
Yeah.
But Bruce Bochy said, this says a lot because Bruce Bochy's been managing for a long time. That Hunter Pence is the most maintenance-free player he's ever managed. Meaning, he knows that he can pencil him in the lineup, and he's going to be there. He doesn't have to go talk to him. How you feeling? How's the mental state? Maybe in an 0 for 20. Doesn't care. It doesn't bother him. He knows that he's out there, and he's going to be in the lineup. He's going to play hard. He's going to be high energy. He's not the type of guy that will be struggling and then be kind of sulking, or he'll get quiet. And he'll still be the same guy, high energy on the bench, picking up other players that may be getting down. He's obviously been the guy that's the big speech guy, the preacher, the profane preacher, like they like to call him now, to get the troops riled up. But he's been invaluable for this club just because I think the guys the way he plays, and they go out there and try to emulate the way he plays because he plays 162 games at 100%, period. And he goes. I mean, and he can also play. He does things very unorthodox, which makes you kind of think that like this isn't the way you're going to teach your kid or to throw
right.
or hit or run. But it doesn't matter because he gets it done. On the field and off the field. He's been invaluable too in the clubhouse.
He was actually my MVP pick of the World Series when I made my prediction. I picked the Giants in 6. Obviously, that didn't happen as we have a Game 7 tonight. But he actually reminds me a lot of Kevin Millar from those 04 Red Sox teams. But let's just take you through that stadium because you've been out in Kansas City. You're there right now. What's the atmosphere been like?
Oh, it's been electric. I mean, it better be. When you don't have
it's a World Series.
Team and 30 team. Yeah, it's been 30 years you haven't had a World Series team. I mean, these fans have been waiting for this for a long time. So, yeah, it's been great. They didn't have anybody sit down for the whole first inning yesterday. They got the rally towels out. Again, they had a lot to cheer about early in the game yesterday. Obviously, when you score 7 runs in the second inning, there's a lot to cheer about. It's very loud. With that being said, they're very nice fans, put it that way. Very welcoming to the visiting team. It's not like coming into to Boston or into New York or even San Francisco for that matter.
Or Philly.
Where the fan not to mention Philly. Yeah, it's not like that where they're definitely you wearing the other uniform, the other jersey, and you're going to hear about it. No, they're very friendly fans, but they're definitely rooting hard for their team. Like I said, it's been a while since they won this thing, and they can taste it right now. So it's a lot of blue and white on the streets for sure.
I definitely think it comes down to pitching tonight, as it usually always does in a Game 7. You have Hudson, and you'll get Bumgarner tonight. And then the other side for the Royals, it's been their motto all year, just condensing that game, really condensing it down and getting it to the 7, 8, 9 guys. They've been brilliant this year. But, Shawn, enjoy the action tonight in Kansas City. Maybe we see a dynasty born tonight or just a team of destiny really go on out there and cap this thing off, as that would be nice to see as well. But we appreciate a few minutes today, my friend, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Yeah, enjoy the game.